Hi there. At the start of the year, loads of organisations published their plans for the coming 12 months. And being 2020, quite a few of them called it their 2020 vision. Now, I wonder how they feel now, because the reality is not many of us as individuals or as organisations or as churches have been able to achieve the things that we had planned. Life is certainly full of surprises. In the letter to the letter written by James in the New Testament, he writes this: "Now listen, you who say, today or tomorrow, we will go to this or that city, spend a year there, carry on business and make money." And then the comment is, "Why? You do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a while." And we found that, haven't we? Isn't that interesting that even in those days, people were committed to make money and were realised that the word came to them that you can't always do what you plan. 15 years ago, I was just about unemployed at this time. I had a small part-time job at the BBC, but that was just 4 hours a week, and I was looking for work. The interesting thing was that I'd been working for Community Church for 24 years. And at the start of 2005, I appeared on the radio. I was actually on Tim Dakin's show on Radio Solent. And he said to me, what new for this year for you, Dave? And I said, "Oh, nothing, just going to carry on the way things were." Little did I know that with some changes in the church, within the next few months, I would feel that it was time for me to step down and I would be looking for work. I saw a job that was advertised in the Echo, and it was the Catholic Church were setting up a project to work with migrant workers, mostly people from Eastern Europe. And I applied for that job. Now, an interesting little story is that at that time, it was the time when the Pope John Paul II had died. And a friend of mine called Roy Pearson rang me up. He rang up out of the blue and said, "Oh, I hear the Pope's passed away." He said, "Perhaps there's a job for you in the Catholic Church." Now, he meant it as a joke, but I tell you what, that was a huge encouragement for me. I never became Pope, but I did have 12 years working in that organisation, and they were great times for me, and I'm so pleased that I was able to do that. So it strikes me that we never know what the future might hold, but I do believe that we can all play an important role in life and in the lives of other people. Of course, we'll never become rich or famous, most of us. And there's a verse in Acts chapter 13 about King David, and it says, "David served the purposes of God in his generation." And I can read that and think, well, it was all right for him because he was an incredibly talented songwriter. There are 150 of his songs that we call the Psalms recorded in the Bible today. He became king of Israel. Yes, he served the purposes of God. He defeated Goliath and all that. And we don't do that, do we? We live in a far smaller world where we don't make the newspapers, we don't become famous, but I feel we can touch the lives of those around us. When I conduct funeral services, I'm always amazed by the stories that I hear and by the fact that acts of kindness committed years and years ago can be remembered by people all those decades later. And so I just want to encourage us today to make our mark. We won't change the world, but we can change the worlds of those around us. Many of us believe we can do that through prayer. Well, let's pray for people and situations that we care about. But by showing respect to people, showing friendliness, by showing acts of kindness, we can have an influence. So I want to encourage us to do that this week. We never know what the future might hold, but many of us would say we believe in a God who holds the future. God bless and see you again soon. Bye bye.